Pokemon Horizons episode 13, yeah? The 2-week hiatus is now over. This is the first episode, so... I mean, let's see what happens. I'm sure they're gonna do like the recap in the beginning here. Okay. Oh yeah, it was the episode with these drawings. And we got a little bit more of like, about the ancient adventurer and stuff. And we know 2 out of the 6 Pokemon. Arboliva, Rayquaza, and we don't know the rest. I do think it was Duplin that said that one of them might be Lugia. And I think you might be right. We'll see. Part of me, however, wants it to only be one legendary, like Rayquaza. And the rest of the Pokemon are just gonna be, you know, like normal, non-legendaries, but obviously Titan. Oh, did their ship break? Okay, I guess there's an electrical problem, like a software problem. Like, oh god, this is why it's good to have the right to repair. Is important. And if I remember from the preview, I think Roy is gonna... I assume he's gonna catch one of the electric flying Pokemon, which would be cool. Because we are 13 episodes in the show and we haven't seen any capturing yet. I kind of want, since we have 2 new trainers, I want them to get, you know, some new Pokemon. A sudden picnic. Okay, it's gonna have a picnic. I mean, if you're stuck on an abandoned island, well, I don't know if it's abandoned, but, well, it's not abandoned. Okay, they're still in Paldea. Got it. Hakko City. That looked like the city with the electric gym leader. I think. The one who's a streamer. Looks nice. Like what? Why? Oh god, bread and fruit. I don't like it. Now please, let me take my apple slice. Sweet bread, no thanks. But I'm completely fine with having a savory bread and something sweet on the side. Alright, well, it seems like they're not putting any sweetness other than maybe a tomato. Yeah, it looks fine. Don't be pressured, Liko. Don't get pressured. Okay, you made huge, but, I mean, you're gonna have to eat that. And they probably put steaks in, you know, to keep its form. Looks great. Yeah, I like meat, you know? I like meat in my mouth. But I do think Likos looks the best. Other than the tomatoes. I like tomatoes, but not in my sandwiches. Well, yeah, 10 out of 10. Yeah, that you're having like a relaxing moment. So I guess we are not actually going, because what I thought is that this episode would be them traveling to Galar, and the next episode we would be in Galar. But it seems like it's not that way. Next episode is going to be them traveling to Galar, and probably episode 15 or 16 is when they reach Galar. Ah, that school outfit. Kinda wish you would wear it more often, even though, yeah, sure, you're not in school, but, you know, having more than one outfit is good. Yeah, man, Sprigatito looks pretty cute with his like super extended arms around the sandwich. Do you see this thing? It's amazing. It's good looking. And I guess Lico's like putting two together, kind of put two and two together, that the same thing happened with Arboliva, you know? That when she resonates with the pendant, that's when something activates with the balls. Okay, but this seems like this is more of like a recap episode. Alright, an Elekid. Is that the first time we see her Elekid? Well, I assume it's her Elekid, because she was in frame. He's like, what the fuck? Ah, come on, let them play. It is precious. It is value, you know? I have made an abyss in my mind right now. So, be careful not to destroy that, Sprigatito. My dad. Or my grandfather. But now to Dot. They're like, this is what you're missing, Dot. I think calling her a friend is a little bit too much at the moment. Maybe like an acquaintance is good enough. Yeah, I wish you could. But I think we know that Dot, she probably feels both that it is a pain, but she also wants to, you know, get out there. Are they maybe hinting at like a ability right there? Does that the Fucoco line is one of their alternative abilities? Is it gluttony? Because I know they have unaware and God, what's it called? Blaze. So I wonder, is there a third one? Or do starters only have... Because I know when you get them from the professor, they only have like Blaze, Overgrowth, or Torrents. But I don't know if you were to hatch it from an egg. Could you get another that isn't a hidden ability? I'm confused. What do you want help with? Or what do you want him to help you with? Ember! You know, let's make a toast. Look, from that angle, it really looks like a... Oh god, the Gen 3 bird. Not Swallow. Talo, there we go. Okay, so it uses electricity to basically stun fish, to then pick them up to eat them later. That's not gonna work. It's a flying type. But, I mean, in the show, it could potentially work, right? So what move is that? Is that like... Echoed voice, maybe? Or maybe up... I'm guessing it's echoed voice. Maybe even uproar. He's like, yes, that's why I took your food. He's like, no, I'm not. But you also have more food, you know, in the camp, so... Like, oh Jesus Christ. Like a seagull. I've seen seagulls just swallow entire, like, rabbits. Alright, nice. Are you gonna have a battle now? No, it's kind of like, let's have a... Oh. Come on. Is that it? I guess maybe it's been like cast out from the flock. You at picnics, you have picnics. You know, you eat. Have fun. Just use like generic terms, and no one will know that you don't really. Like cut. This is terrible. I don't like it. The fact that they have made it like, oh, the things she eats, they are formulated to be like super high calories and all the perfect nutrients, blah, 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 blah. Like, oh god. Just make it so that she maybe doesn't have the best diet. Oh, come on, Dot. I liked seeing your eyes. I liked your hair up more than down. Well, I guess it's about time to try. Well, it's a part of going a picnic, right? So wait, she thinks we are friends? She considers us friends? Mendoxa. Like a pain in the ass. So that is what she wanted help with, alright. Okay, so now you know, Liko. Like, Shadat is Goodman. Oh, okay, she's still... I mean, I guess it isn't because she's stupid. I think she just is in the thought process where she just cannot put like Dot and Gurumi in as the same person. Like, I think she recognizes the evidence, but she's like deluding herself into thinking that they are not the same person. I hope this is not something they keep like for the entire like first season. I hope we kind of like get past this thing of her, I guess, refusing to recognize that Dot and Gooderman is the same, like pretty fast. Like the spirit changes. And I mean, Liko was doing pretty good, I say, in school. She did make a friend in school as well, so... Don't remember what that girl's name was. I do remember she had an Asha Watt. Please let Roy capture that. Is it called Kilowattrel? I think Kilowattrel is the evolved form. I think maybe it's called like Wattrel or something. But... like, please let him capture it. Because it does seem like he's gonna have a theme when it comes to his Pokemon. Because that bird one was screaming, you know, so it's kind of like, oh, maybe it's gonna be like singing a bit. Because he's using his voice. She's like, what do you mean? Please tell me he has some Pokeballs. I mean, please. Oh, the evil guy. Don't remember your name. I think it was something starting with S. Oh, okay, he has a lot of Magnetons. Oh, yeah, okay, magnetons fuck with their electricity. Now, we're having electricity problems, and not only that, probably like networking problems as well. Like, we might have to leave the room. Well, if only you knew the reason why, Dot. Next episode, maybe he's gonna try and capture this Pokemon. I hope so. Because I do think 14 episodes is a little bit too long before we get any captures, you know? I mean, it is Pokemon. And especially since we have 2 main characters who are complete newbies, they only have 1 Pokemon each, is the perfect to at least maybe let them capture 1 Pokemon, like maybe like in the beginning, maybe every 10 to 15 episodes. Because I would like them to have at least 4, maybe even 4 to 6 Pokemon each by the end of the first season. That's what I would like. So yeah, I mean, I think this episode was actually fine. I think the episode was fine. But, I don't know, it was very slow paced. In this episode, you didn't really need the picnic part of it. I mean, I assume the reason why is to show, you know, because, I mean, the picnic part is part of, you know, the Scarlet and Violet games, you know. I never used it when I played, but, you know, you can use it. So what I would do that, I mean, maybe not remove it altogether, but reduce it by like 50%, and then make it so that Roy actually captures the Watt roll. And if you did that, I think this episode would be like, oh, it's great, it's good. Because you got a little bit more happening. This episode it didn't feel like filler, because it isn't filler. Things actually did happen. But it had like a fillery vibe. But not necessarily in a bad sense, but I don't know, I kind of wish something else happened. Like maybe, you know what, they could have had like, the base thing is that they're gonna have a picnic. But while they're having the picnic, maybe Freed teaches Liko and Roy about Pokeballs. And then Roy captures that Watt roll. And then, you know, things happen the same way they happened in the episode. So that we got like a lesson learned, and then an action happened with that lesson. And then they're setting up that next episode, something's gonna happen with all the Magnetons. And maybe they're gonna have a battle against Team Explorer guy.